Hello and welcome back to The World According to Reese. In this latest video, I'll be exploring the topic of guide dogs. You see, or perhaps not, depending upon how you look or don't look at it, but guide dogs are perhaps one of the most visible symbols of blindness. With this high level of visibility, however, often comes preconceived ideas and misunderstandings, some of which I want to talk a bit about today. So one of the huge misconceptions people have is that guide dogs are robots. And while certainly intelligent, robots, they are most certainly not. You've probably all seen or heard adverts on TV promoting guide dogs and asking for sponsorship. Trust me, these ads are on all the time, and they give an impression that you can tell the dog to take you to the local supermarket and it will guide you to your destination. It is in fact the opposite. Whilst the dog is highly trained to a degree, it is the responsibility of the handler to know where they're going at all times, and the dog acts as a canine mobility aid, as it were. This is where I come on to the next point, and it is important to stress that guide dogs are not super mammals, just as police officers are not superhuman. When the dog is wearing the harness, it is indeed at work. However, it is important to recognise that a dog is a dog at the end of the day, and when the harness is off, the dog is entitled to rest, just as a soldier is entitled to rest and spend time with family when not in uniform. Another important thing, which the general public should absolutely be aware of, is the importance of access when it comes to guide dogs, or for that matter, any kind of assistance dog. In the UK, and probably in many parts of the developed world, legislation in place which states that public places must allow access to assistance dogs. In the United Kingdom, the most recent legislation which covers this is the Equality Act 2010. It is important to be aware of your rights, and if you are ever refused access to somewhere in public with your assistance dog, you can potentially raise a complaint, whether that be with the shop manager, taxi company, or whoever it is that has refused you access. Now, although I said that guide dogs are not robots by any means, they are definitely intelligent, as I also said earlier. One thing guide dogs are highly skilled in is what is known as intelligent disobedience. What this means is that there might be times when you tell the dog to do something but it will not obey. But sometimes this is actually for a very good reason. For instance, if you were perhaps telling the dog to walk forward, but a car was coming, the dog might not go if it recognised the car as a sign of danger. Also, guide dogs are trained to go to the toilet on command. However, the dog will also be trained so that if the owner instructs it to go to the toilet and it recognises the fact that where you've told it to go isn't necessarily appropriate, the dog should then refuse to do the toilet at that particular place. An example of this might be when the dog and owner are beside a busy road or in a park where lots of people are around. In practice, guide dogs are trained to do the toilet in a quiet, grassy area, as guide dog owners are exempt from cleaning up after the dog due to the difficulties this poses. It is vital not to distract a guide dog on duty. Many people, especially young children, love to pet dogs when out and about. And while this is okay as well, it can be dangerous to distract a harnessed guide dog, as the primary role of the dog is to keep the owner safe, and it cannot do this effectively if distracted. The golden rule is to always ask the owner first, and generally, when harnessed, the dog and owner are best left alone. Guide dogs aren't for everyone either. I will talk in a later video about the assessment process. I went through it myself several years ago and it was quite intense. Some people explore the option of a dog but decide it's not for them. Others simply prefer a white cane or other means of getting around. Indeed, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. I hope you found this video interesting and be sure to subscribe if you can and hit the notification bell for future videos. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.